time, man, look up to him, my icon. Einstein, he a mastermind of the streets. He grind till he shine, playing for keeps.
We back at it again. Had to take a little break. I had more important business to attend to. I stayed away from this topic and this podcast for a few months, man. But honestly, since that last Super Bowl loss, I haven't really even been into football, man. Imagine that. But check it out, though. We haven't won since '94 when Deion was here. And right now, the Super Bowl window looks to be closing faster than we thought. With this current team, with this organization, man, it's just like when you get an opportunity to close the deal, you got to make it happen. Because tomorrow is not promised, and that's the golden rule. So now here's 5 reasons why we have 3 missing golden rings. Yeah, I know this is old news, but we got to go back in time to set the stage. Reason number 1, taking Alex Smith over Aaron Rodgers. 2005 NFL draft, man. Coach Mike Nolan liked Smith's personality because he was a nice guy. He's like a people pleaser type. You know what I'm saying? While Aaron Rodgers, I guess he came off a little bit cocky and arrogant. I mean, the results speak loud and clear now, man. And you see what it is, man. People wanted Alex Smith out of there, man. I think he was terrible in his first few years. Smith struggled with different head coaches and coordinators, while Rodgers got to sit and learn behind the Hall of Famer Brett Favre. And when he was ready, he took over and he won a Super Bowl in 2011. Rodgers has always been a top 5 quarterback during his prime years with Green Bay. And while Smith, he maxed out as just an above average game manager. His best year was in 2011 with the Niners loss in the NFC Championship versus the Giants. Injuries, mediocre production eventually got him replaced by, Colin Kaepernick. And Rodgers, most likely, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, And with Smith and CK7, just putting the production they put out there, it just wasn't good enough. That 2012 Super Bowl loss versus the Ravens was a hard pill to swallow because that was probably our best defense of that 2000s era. With that dominant front 7 led by Patrick Willis and prime Alden Smith, I mean, we basically just wasted that squad, But that was the thing that set the stage. That was the number 1 reason, that got us headed in a direction to where we can't close the deal. Is that quarterback spot. Reason number 2, and this is unforgivable. I mean, and this is gonna haunt the organization to the end of time, man. Is passing on Patrick Mahomes for Solomon Thomas in the 2017 NFL Draft. John Lynch, he took Solomon Thomas from Stanford, and that's Lynch's alma mater. That's where he went to school. So maybe that swayed him to take somebody from his, from his former college that he, But you know what, man, you got to be better at evaluating skills and talent. Man, that pick was a complete bust since Thomas made virtually no impact on the field with his best year coming with he only registered 3 sacks, and now he's with the New York Jets and basically putting up them same type of numbers. I mean, how can you not see that coming? We needed a quarterback, and they were basically dead set on solving that issue in free agency, thinking that they were going to go ahead and get Kirk Cousins, which they didn't end up doing. But what they did do is they drafted C.J. Beathard in the 3rd round. We all saw how that turned out. Is he even in the league anymore? I don't know. But they thought they'd get a chance at Kirk Cousins in free agency. And so they wanted to solidify the D-line with Solomon Thomas. Then they eventually got Jimmy Garoppolo as the starter, who wasn't horrible, but it's just they have a theme of going after game managers, and it's just mediocre, just a little bit above average, and it's just not good enough, So Mahomes goes to KC with the 10th pick, and 3 Super Bowl wins later, he's now in the GOAT conversation. Wow. Reason number 3, letting DeForest Buckner leave, man. Like, they made a trade. They made a trade sending Buckner to the Colts. And that's going to forever be something that they're going to regret, man. As a 49ers D-line, in my opinion, hasn't looked the same, hasn't looked as stout as that 2019 Super Bowl team with Armstead and Buckner in the middle. They thought they could replace him by drafting Javon Kinlaw, who was, injured, didn't really produce a whole lot, and now he's with the Jets, struggling to get sacks and stay on the field. So it's like, I don't know. It's Lynch and his evaluations. I mean, some of his picks, they turned out good, like Kittle, Purdy, late round steals. But I mean, at the end of the day, those type of mistakes right there is the reason why we still don't have a ring since '94. But anyway, about letting Buckner leave, I mean, he's been solid. He was solid while he was here. He's been solid over there in Indianapolis with the Colts. He's been to multiple Pro Bowls, and Kinlaw, he's probably on his way out the league too. So, reason number 4, in the 2021 draft, Lynch traded up to the number 3 spot to get Trey Lance, giving up 3 first-round picks, swapping that number 12 with the Dolphins from that year, and then giving them our 2022 and 2023 first-rounders. Also, they threw in a third-rounder in 2022. Man, that right there is depressing, man, because that's a lot to give up. And we got nothing in return, man. I don't even know how many games, he didn't start many games and the production wasn't there. I don't know what they saw, I mean, I kind of do know what they saw. It's more the prototypical arm strength and speed. I don't know if he looked a little bit like Mahomes, but that don't mean he is Mahomes, man. Like, he's trying to make up for that past mistake of not taking Mahomes. Well, you can't just look like a duck, walk like a duck, then he's a duck. No, man, you got to look deeper into it. He didn't really play a whole lot in college. It was like 1 year of full season, of playing in the full season. He was in the running offense in college at a lower level, Division II or FBS, level. It wasn't a high level. It wasn't SEC. It wasn't. It wasn't big time college football. So to trade up to number 3 and give up that much for something that wasn't a sure thing, that's crazy, man. And they didn't even give him enough time to even develop. That's a quarterback, that's an offensive guru's job. Shanahan, that's your job, to develop somebody and make an offense around his talents. That's a huge mistake that made cripple the franchise. Basically it did, but they came back and then they got Brock Purdy, but he's good. We still haven't won a Super Bowl, so it's to be determined. If they redeem themselves, by selecting Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. But anyway, as far as Trey Lance, he had a prototypical height, weight, speed, but it wasn't enough to solidify himself as the future of the franchise. He was inaccurate and unable to read NFL defenses. Like I said, I do feel they should have gave him a little more time. You're a quarterback guru. You should have developed an offense around his talents. Maybe get him out there on more bootlegs, maybe some read option. Do some things to utilize his legs and his deep arm strength. I seen him make some plays. I don't know if it was preseason, but he had a bomb throw, I think, to Danny Gray, and it was like, this guy, he got something here, So he had some splash plays, and but they just didn't. It just didn't work out, and right now I don't know what's going on with him in Dallas, but that was just a huge mistake. Reason number 5, Kyle Shanahan being out-coached in Super Bowls and big games. He has a pattern of fourth quarter collapses. He gets too pass happy when he should run the ball, especially when we have a lead going into the fourth quarter. It's just common sense. You run the ball. You have a stout O-line, Trent Williams. Run McCaffrey. You know what I'm saying? Run out the clock. Ball control offense. Coming out in games where they're coming in 5 wide and putting too much pressure on your quarterbacks. Brock or Jimmy G, they weren't those kind of guys that could just lead a team down the field, consistently throwing the ball down the field. They're more dink and dunk underneath or over the middle underneath, to the tight end. Those are the kind of guys that they are. They're not Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes. They're not them kind of guys. Peyton Manning. It just is what it is. So you can't run an offense like that with those kind of quarterbacks. But anyway, it's just it goes back to his days as the coach of the Atlanta Falcons when they had a lead in the Super Bowl and he let Tom Brady come back by 3 touchdowns. I think it was, they were down 21-0, and he came back and won the game in the fourth quarter. It's ridiculous. So Shanahan gets out coached in Super Bowls, big games, NFC championships, whatever, and it even happens during the regular season. So that's reason number 5. That's one of the main reasons, and it's not just on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know if they just start getting confused or conservative on defense as well. But why is it so easy for Mahomes to carve up the team in the fourth quarter when it counts, when the money's on the line? And our pass rush stops, being effective. There's no pass rush. I don't know if it's the coordinator, lack of creativity, but when it's money time, it seems like the other coach on the other side of the field makes the adjustments to get things done that they need to get done, and we end up coming up on the losing end. So there you have it. Those are the 5 reasons why we got 3 missing rings. It's sad, it's sick, depressing, but I'm still 49er faithful, still my squad. I ride with them, rock with them, and we're not gonna make the playoffs this year. So it's time to go back to the drawing board, regroup, and see what we can put together for next year. Oh yeah, with all that being said, that's the reason why I dropped this new track, Primetime. You know what I'm saying? Salute Deion. 94 was the last time we won a Super Bowl. Deion was a big reason why. His flamboyant swag and excellence rep the Bay well, man, as it motivated and inspired me as a youth, then a team to develop my mouthpiece and hustle and drive for success, man. While he was here with the Niners, the Giants, you just got to salute their excellence and let it inspire and motivate you to do the same in your life, man. So, if Kyle can't get over the hump soon, you know what I'm saying, as this is our Super Bowl window closes again, maybe York could throw a bag at Primetime to come back, and maybe he could be the head coach, man. Hey, that's just a thought. But anyway, till the next time, next episode, East Bay King Podcast. Keep tapping in, tuning in. I was talking about Lorenzo King, a.k.a. Renz Jr., you know what I mean? Tune in, tap in, Renz 510 Radio, 24/7 West Coast slaps. It's a big year, 2025, got a lot of stuff on deck. New album in the works. Movie wrapping it up right now, about to drop, and big news for everything we got going on with the squad, East Bay Kings, and everything is still moving, still pushing. We going forward. So I'm gonna see y'all next time. Tapping in, tuning in with your boy Renz Jr. on 510radio.com, 24/7 West Coast Slaps. I'm gonna holler at y'all later.